Log bait players are either certified geniuses or literal supervillains. Probably both, honestly. This is the Mind Games deck. Every single card exists to bait out the log. Princess forces responses from across the map. Goblin gang swarms lanes. Goblin barrel spawns directly on towers. The whole strategy is psychological warfare. You're not just playing cards, you're playing the person. Once they waste log on princess, your barrel connects for free damage. Once they save log for barrel, you swarm with gang. It's 4D chess where you're predicting their predictions until they're paralyzed with indecision. They see princess at the bridge, dealing chip from very long range. They log it because nobody wants chip damage. Cool. Now barrel connects, and 3 goblins are hitting their tower for hundreds of damage, or they save log for barrel. So you pressure with goblin gang and they panic. Inferno tower melts any tank they build. Knight defends everything for 3 elixir. Rocket finishes games once you've chipped to 1,000 health points. Every interaction is mental chess. Where's their log? When will they use it? How tilted are they? This is psychological warfare disguised as a card game. You're deceptive and reading your opponent like a Netflix subtitle. You don't just predict their next move. You predict their next 3 moves and the panic play they'll make when none work. You predict every log before they even think about using it. Log bait players are Clash Royale Sherlocks but evil, and you love watching opponents realize they've been outplayed since minute 0. But if you think that's sweaty, wait till you see the OG skill deck. If you can actually play 2.6 Hog at a high level, congratulations, you've ascended beyond mortal comprehension. 2.6 Hog cycle with Musketeer, Ice Golem, Cannon, Ice Spirit, Skeletons, Log, and Fireball. This is the most skill-intensive deck in Clash Royale history, not an opinion, just facts. Average elixir cost is 2.6, so you cycle faster than anyone. Every placement has to be frame perfect. Every prediction has to be psychic. Every elixir pip tracked like mental calculus. This deck separates good players from absolute legends. No room for error, no safety net. You either play perfectly or you lose. It's that brutal. You're using 1 elixir skeletons to kite 7 elixir electro giant across the entire arena. 1 misplacement and you're cooked. You're using Ice Spirit to defend Mega Knight with perfect timing on the stun. You're cycling hogs for chip while defending pushes that cost triple your elixir using cycle cards and big brain plays. Top ladder players make this look easy. Perfect placements, prediction fireballs before cards are played, kiting tanks with Ice Golem and Skeletons. The skill ceiling is in orbit. 1 misplaced cannon means P.E.K.K.A walks through and you lose. You embody mechanical perfection. Your muscle memory is coded into your DNA. You don't think about placements, your fingers just know. If you win with 2.6 against meta decks, you're not human. You're an esports contract waiting to happen. You make it look easy when it's literally the hardest deck in the game. Absolute legend status, no cap. Now, if cycle decks aren't your vibe, let's talk about straight up beatdown. Giant double prince players wake up every day and choose violence. Expensive, unstoppable violence. Giant tanking with both Prince and Dark Prince charging behind. This whole deck is about building one massive, unstoppable push. You're not interested in chip damage or small plays. You just want to drop 14 plus elixir of pure destruction down one lane and watch defenses crumble like a sandcastle in a tsunami. This is beatdown at its purest. Patience, elixir management, then one overwhelming push that wins in 30 seconds. Giant goes in front tanking literally everything. Behind him, both princes are charging. Prince charges dealing double damage that deletes defensive troops in one shot. Dark Prince charges in a 360-degree area clearing swarms while dealing massive damage. When this push connects, towers evaporate. We're talking 3 crown potential in one push. The elixir cost is insane, 14 elixir minimum, but so is the payoff. Your opponent can't defend at all. If they stop Giant, princes clean up. If they stop princes, Giant gets too much tower damage. Lose-to-lose situation, and you created it. You don't believe in small plays or efficiency. You believe in overwhelming force and watching opponents panic as 14 elixir of charging, jumping, spinning destruction walks down their lane like a medieval army. You're patient enough to build elixir, then unleash hell in double. Big elixir, big risk, big W energy. You're the final boss of beatdown. When your push is coming, everyone knows it, and there's nothing they can do. But if ground pushes are too basic for you, let's go airborne. Lava Loon players looked at the ground game and said, nah, I'm good, then proceeded to ruin everyone's day from the sky. Lava Hound tanking while Balloon sneaks through to delete towers. This combo has terrorized ladder since the game launched. The strategy is beautifully simple and devastatingly effective. Lava Hound tanks everything in the sky while Balloon floats behind ready to one-shot their tower. If opponents don't have strong anti-air, they just lose. Even when they do have anti-air, if you play it right, you're still getting massive damage through. This is adapt or die, can't defend air, getting 3 crowned. Lava Hound has insane HP, flying slow toward buildings, soaking every musketeer shot, every attack, everything. While they're dumping elixir, killing this flying tank, Balloon is floating behind, ready to delete their tower. If Balloon connects even once, it's dealing 1000 plus damage. 1 hit and their tower's half health, 2 hits and it's gone. Evil part, even when they defend and kill Balloon, it drops a death bomb that still chips. So perfect defense still takes damage. When Lava Hound dies, it bursts into 6 lava pups that keep pressuring. Air defenses get overwhelmed fast. You will get damage eventually, they can't defend perfectly every time. You figured out most people overinvest in ground defense and you're exploiting that weakness like a strategist. You're patient enough to build proper pushes, waiting for the right moment when they're low on elixir. Lavaloon players are built different. They see the game from above, literally and figuratively, cooking towers while everyone else fights on the ground like NPCs. Now if you want control instead of beatdown, check out this sneaky deck. Minor control players are the definition of death by 1,000 cuts, but make it elegant. Minor plus poison with defensive cards like Valkyrie, Musketeer, and Cycle cards. This deck is all about controlling pace. You're not overwhelming with massive pushes. You're playing the long game, defending perfectly with cheap cards, then chipping their tower slowly with minor while poison handles defenders. Every elixir matters. Every placement is calculated. Every minor position is mind games. This is control at its finest. Patience, precision, perfect defense translating into inevitable chip damage that adds up to a tower kill. Minor can be placed anywhere on the arena, literally anywhere. You send him straight to their tower, fake placements to bait spells, snipe support cards. His placement is completely unpredictable. While Minor tanks tower shots and chips for 200 to 300 damage, you drop poison on whatever they defend with. Poison clears defenders while chipping the tower. Between minor chip and poison value, you're slowly breaking down their tower. Defense is where this shines. Valkyrie clears ground pushes, Musketeer handles air, Cycle cards defend perfectly, using minimum elixir. The win condition isn't one big moment, it's 10 successful minor poison chips over 4 minutes, adding up to 2,000 plus tower damage. You're a control freak in the best way. You don't panic when they build massive pushes. You calmly defend with perfect placements and minimal elixir, then immediately send minor while they're recovering. Minor control players are playing chess while everyone else plays checkers, thinking 5 moves ahead, counting elixir, tracking cycles, you all while casually chipping away their tower like it's nothing. But at least Minor's subtle, these next tank players have 0 chill. If you're running this deck, you're basically the type of person who thinks strategy is for NPCs. Hero Giant plus Hero Mini P.E.K.K.A, Bowler, and Evo Witch. This is peak Himothy behavior. Literally just stacking tanks like building a Jenga tower of destruction. You don't do fancy cycle plays, you don't do split lane pressure, you just wait for double elixir, drop your entire elixir bar of tanky heroes, and support down 1 lane, and watch the world burn. This whole deck is about overwhelming force. 2 heroes tanking while supports clear defenses, and the tower gets demolished. Hero Giant has high HP tanking frontline. Hero Mini P.E.K.K.A has extremely high damage one-shotting most defensive troops, one deleting buildings in 3 hits. You're running 2 heroes, which means double the ability usage. Evo Witch heals every time her own skeletons die and can overheal to 124% HP. She's got unlimited Riz, constantly spawning. Skeletons while getting tankier. Bowler's attacks pierce and knock back, clearing entire pushes. In double elixir, you're dropping 15 plus elixir. Hero Giant tanking, Hero Mini P.E.K.K.A deleting, Witch healing and spawning, Bowler controlling. They literally cannot defend all of it. Tower gets cooked. You don't do fancy plays or big brain moments. You just want to watch 2 gigantic heroes walk down the lane while opponents have the mental breakdowns. That's Sigma energy. Pure overwhelming force with no apologies. Sometimes the best strategy is just more HP, more damage, EO walk forward. But at least you pick a lane and commit, unlike this next breed of unhinged player. If this is your main deck, you've got the attention span of a goldfish on Skibidi Toilet. P.E.K.K.A, Bandit, Electro Wizard, Magic Archer. This deck is for people allergic to patience. You physically cannot stop dropping troops at the bridge every 3 seconds because sitting on elixir feels illegal. This whole archetype is about constant aggression, always threatening, always pressuring, always forcing responses. You don't defend then attack. You defend by counterattacking. So fast, opponents never build proper pushes. Every defensive troop immediately becomes offensive. Pure chaos energy, constant pressure, no downtime. Evo Pika spawns butterflies on kills that heal her based on killed units' HP, and she can overheal to 166% HP. She becomes an unkillable raid boss, getting stronger with every kill. Bandit dashes, dealing double damage while being completely immune during the dash. She's untargetable, can't be hit, just phases through reality, then deals massive damage. Magic Archer's shots pierce, getting value on multiple troops plus tower chip. Ewiz spawns with zap, then stuns everything. You're throwing troops at the bridge constantly. When Pecky counter pushes after defending, it's GG's in the chat. You can't defend without immediately turning it into an attack. You're playing like every match is sudden death from minute 0. Your motto is no thoughts, just vibes, and bridge spam. You see an opening, you attack. They use elixir, you punish. It's ADHD energy channeled into pure aggression, and honestly, it works, because opponents never get to set up perfect pushes. Absolute menace behavior, but the fun kind. Now, if you thought that was chaotic, wait till you meet the menace running this next deck. Use this deck because you're the type of villain who laughs in lowercase. Goblinstein, Graveyard, Ice Wizard, Evo Valkyrie. This is straight up devious work. You're not just playing Clash Royale, you're conducting a psychological experiment where opponents are lab rats and you're the evil scientist. Goblinstein forces out big spells with his tanky dual forms that stun, and once they panic and use spells, you drop Graveyard, and it's free skeleton damage for 9 seconds. Every match is opponents slowly losing their minds as skeletons chip their tower while they run out of answers. Goblinstein has 2 forms that both stun. Doctor form is ranged, monster form targets buildings. Both stunning means defenders get stunned every hit, buying time. Once they waste spells dealing with Goblinstein, you drop Graveyard, spawning 18 skeletons over 9 seconds. Without spells, defending Graveyard is a nightmare because skeletons keep spawning faster than troops can kill them. Ice Wizard slows everything by 35%, giving your skeletons more time to connect. Evo Valkyrie summons a tornado with each attack pulling troops into her spin radius. The chip is relentless. Every Graveyard skeleton connecting deals damage, potentially 1,000 plus if they don't have spells. You're not just winning, you're psychologically destroying opponents one skeleton at a time. Every chip damage notification is pure serotonin. You thrive on frustration, watching them panic cycle, finding answers, watching them waste elixir on Goblinstein, watching Graveyard skeletons chip to 0. Absolute menace behavior. You're the villain who laughs quietly while the hero suffers. But if you think spellbait is annoying, this next player is straight up diabolical. Subscribe real quick if you're still here. No cap, it actually helps. This deck is the equivalent of saying, I woke up and chose psychological warfare. Giant skeleton, berserker, Goblin Hut, Evo Furnace. You're not trying to win fast, you're trying to make opponents uninstall. This whole deck is about defensive dominance and passive chip. Giant Skeleton deletes pushes with his Death Bomb that deals double damage to towers. Spawner buildings create constant pressure 24/7. Every match is opponents building a push, you defending with Giant Skeleton Bomb, them trying again, spawners chipping in the background, them getting frustrated. Eventually, they quit. Goblin Hut spawns. Spear Goblins. Every 1.9 seconds, passive chip opponents have to respond to, or their tower slowly dies. Evo Furnace spawns Fire Spirits every 2.4 seconds, alternating sides. Double spawn speed means constant pressure both lanes. These spirits and goblins chip 24/7 like a factory. Giant Skeleton on defense drops a bomb on death that explodes after 3 seconds, dealing double damage to crown towers with knockback. That bomb resets entire pushes, kills swarms, damages tanks, knocks everything back. They spend 15 elixir building a push, Giant Skeleton dies, bomb explodes, push deleted. The strategy is suffocating. Spawners force responses, Giant Skeleton deletes pushes, no winning play for them. You don't outplay people, you out-annoy them until they rage quit. But you're the final boss of I'm not mad, just disappointed energy, except you are mad because you built a deck specifically to frustrate people into surrendering. Spawner users are a different breed. You understand the best way to win is being so annoying opponents give up. Respect the psychological warfare honestly. And speaking of annoying, this next deck attacks both lanes because apparently one isn't enough. If you run this, You're the human embodiment of why pick one when you can have both. Evo Royal Hogs, Hero Ice Golem, Evo Royal Ghost, Heal Spirit. This whole deck is about creating multi-threat chaos. Opponents literally cannot track. You're not attacking one lane like a normal person. You're attacking both lanes simultaneously while going invisible, flying, healing, making opponents' brains have a factory resets trying to figure out what to defend first. Every push is unpredictable. Every rotation creates multiple threats. You thrive on confusion and overwhelm through sheer number of attacks. Evo Royal Hogs are 4 hogs that spawn flying, dealing fall damage when attacking. They're splitting into different lanes, potentially hitting both towers. Opponents have to defend 4 flying hogs. Hero Ice Golem tanks, then explodes on death, slowing everything, giving your other troops more time. Evo Royal Ghost spawns invisible and spawns 2 extra soldiers when attacking invisible, creating troops out of nowhere from unexpected angles. Heal Spirit keeps everything alive longer. Opponents' brains are melting. 4 flying hogs swarming, invisible ghost appearing, spawning extra troops, Ice Golem tanking and slowing. By the time they react, 3 more threats appeared and half their tower is gone. You thrive on chaos and confusion. You're not here to play fair with single lane pushes. You're here to make opponents question every life choice. You're the multitasking legend who can track 4 threats simultaneously while opponents are still finding where you place that invisible ghost. Your main character energy, but evil, creating chaos while opponents are NPCs who can't keep up. But if you want to talk about relentless pressure, buckle up for this grinder deck. This deck is for people who think death by 1,000 cuts is a love language. Berserker, Graveyard, Goblin Hut, Evo Furnace, Poison. This whole deck is about patience and persistence. You're not looking for flashy 3 crowns in 2 minutes. You're playing the long game. Spawners creating constant background pressure, Graveyard punishing empty lanes, Poison clearing defenders. Every match is a marathon. You chip 200 damage here, 300 there, spawners deal 400 over time, Graveyard connects for 600, suddenly their tower is gone and they're asking, how did I lose? It's giving I have all day energy because you literally do. Goblin Hut spawns spear goblins every 1.9 seconds, creating constant ranged chip. Evo Furnace spawns fire spirits every 2.4 seconds, alternating sides. Double spawn rate means twice the chip. Opponents can't ignore these because spawners will chip towers to 0 over the match. While spawners work, you're looking for graveyard opportunities. Any overcommit or high elixir usage, you drop graveyard spawning 18 skeletons. Poison clears defenders while chipping towers. The grind is real. Goblin Hut chips, Furnace chips, Graveyard chips, Poison chips. Every interaction deals some tower damage. They can't defend perfectly. If they focus on Graveyard, spawners chip. If they destroy spawners, Graveyard connects. Pressure never stops. You're patient, persistent, low-key, sadistic. You don't need big flashy plays, just steady, relentless pressure until opponents' will to live evaporates. You understand winning isn't about one perfect push, it's about 50 small successful interactions adding up to 2,000 tower damage. You win, and opponents are genuinely confused about how because there was no big moment, just constant chip until the tower fell. Ultimate disrespect. Now if you're tired of random chaos and want control, check out this surgical deck. This deck screams, I'm about to conduct a symphony, and your push is the instrument. Hog Rider, Evo Executioner, Evo Valkyrie, Tornado, Rocket. This whole deck is about battlefield control. You're not randomly defending, you're controlling where fights happen, pulling troops into kill zones, grouping enemies for massive AoE damage. Every spell is timed perfectly. Every tornado pull is frame perfect. Every elixir trade is calculated. You're not playing Clash Royale, you're conducting an orchestra of destruction where every card plays its part, creating defensive masterpieces that transition into hog chip and rocket finishes. It's giving 200 IQ plays. Tornado pulls all troops to center, grouping enemy pushes into one spot. Evo Executioner's axe pierces and returns when troops are grouped. His axe hits all of them twice, dealing massive area of effect. At close range, he deals extra damage plus knockback, pushing troops backwards, disrupting formation. Watching troops get pulled together, then shredded by Executioner, is Chef's Kiss. Evo Valkyrie summons a tornado with each attack, pulling troops into her spin while dealing damage. You're creating a defensive zone, nothing survives. Hog Rider is your offensive pressure, forcing responses every cycle. While they're recovering from your defensive masterclass, your hog is at their tower chipping. Rocket finishes games once you've chipped to 1000 HP. You're a tactical genius predicting pushes 3 moves ahead. Every spell perfectly timed, every pull frame perfect, every interaction is positive elixir trade. You're the type who reads patch notes for fun, watches pro gameplay to learn optimal placements. This deck requires big brain energy, and you have it. You're controlling the entire battlefield, dictating where fights happen. But if you think that's calculated, Siege players are on another level entirely. Mortar players are built different, and by different I mean they enjoy causing pain from a safe distance. Evo Mortar, Hero Knight, Goblin Barrel, Cycle cards. This is peak don't hate the player, hate the game energy. You're launching bombs from your side with very long range, forcing opponents to come to you, which is exactly where you want them, because you're a defensive god. Evo Mortar attacks 20% faster, while spawning a goblin with each shot means insane value. Chip damage, plus free goblins, defending or pressuring. This deck requires patience, positioning mastery, is defending everything with minimal elixir, because if they break through, your mortar is gone and you lose. Evo Mortar shoots from a very long range with faster attacks, spawning a goblin every shot. That's value on top of value. Hero Knight is your defensive anchor, defending literally everything for 3 elixir. Goblin Barrel pressures opposite lane, forcing split lane attention. They can't fully commit to destroying Mortar because Barrel threatens the other tower. The cycle is fast at 2.9, so you're rotating back to defensive cards quickly. Opponent drops tanks, Knight, Skeletons, Ice Spirit, Kite to King Tower. They spell your Mortar, you've already cycled to the next one. The win condition is Mortar Chip. Every successful placement deals hundreds of tower damage from safety over the match. You're patient, methodical, honestly kind of evil. You don't rush. You chip, defend, outlast through superior positioning. Siege players are the most galaxy-brained because you have to play perfectly. One defensive mistake, and they're on your mortar, ending your strategy. But when you play it right, watching opponents desperately try to reach your mortar while it bombards their tower from across the map is satisfaction. And if mortar's annoying, wait till you see this cycle deck. This deck is for people who think elixir sitting in the bar is a literal crime. Evo Royal Hogs, Archer Queen, Evo Cannon, Earthquake, cycle cards. You're basically speedrunning value trades while opponents are still loading into the match. This deck is about exploiting every opening, defending efficiently with Archer Queen ability, then punishing with Flying Royal Hogs and guaranteed Earthquake building chip. Your APM is insane. You're cycling faster than opponents can think. You never let elixir sit. Every card played with purpose. You're the efficiency streamer of Clash Royale, optimal plays, no wasted elixir, constant pressure. Archer Queen's ability makes her invisible with increased attack speed. She's your defensive powerhouse, shredding swarms and tanks from medium range. Evo Royal Hogs spawn flying, dealing fall damage. 4 very fast hogs splitting lanes, punishing any empty lane instantly. If opponents use too much elixir, you drop Flying Royal Hogs, and they can't defend all 4 properly. Evo Cannon rains 9 bombs on deploy, damaging both sides. It defends while also damaging their troops before they reach your side. Earthquake guarantees building chip with 3.5 times damage to buildings. Even perfect defense takes damage. The cycle is 2.9, so you're rotating constantly, defending 8 elixir pushes with 4 elixir through perfect placements. You're quick-witted and opportunistic. You exploit every opening, defend efficiently, never waste elixir. Your APM is insane, and you definitely have a good gaming chair because you're placing cards faster than humanly reasonable. You're always one step ahead. You see they use Fireball, you immediately Royal Hogs opposite lane before they can cycle back. Elite efficiency energy. But if you really want to master defensive siege, there's one more legendary deck. Expo players are either absolute legends or they're having the worst day ever. Literally no middle ground. Expo, Knight, Ice Spirit, Skeletons, Ice Golem, Archers, Log, Fireball. This is the defensive siege deck. Expo locks onto towers from across the map, the ultimate patience win condition. One good Expo lock means the tower's getting melted slowly from your side of the arena, but Expo is a building that can't move, so placement is everything. If opponents break through your defense, they're on your Expo destroying it, and you've wasted 6 elixir. This requires pixel perfect placement, godlike timing, elite game sense. Mess up once, and you're taking a full counter push and losing. Expo has very long range attacking consistently. It's not burst damage, it's sustained chip over time. One Expo lock for 20 seconds deals 1000 plus tower damage. 2 good locks wins the game. But getting those locks requires perfect defense. Knight tanks everything protecting Expo. Ice Spirit stuns buying time. Skeletons distract and kite pulling troops away. Ice Golem kites then explode, slowing everything. The skill expression is insane. You're manually placing X-Bow in optimal positions, kiting tanks with skeletons across the arena, timing Ice Spirit stuns perfectly, predicting spells, counting their elixir, tracking their cycle. Miss one defensive rotation and you're cooked. But when you play perfectly, watching X-Bow shred their tower while you defend perfectly is peak dopamine. You're resilient and predictive. You read opponents' decks after 2 rotations and punish every aggressive play with remote tower deletion. X-Bow is about patience and positioning. Wait for the right moment when they're low on elixir, place X-Bow, defend perfectly for 20 seconds. X-Bow players are just built different, no cap. You're the final boss everyone respects. Click the video on screen right now.